Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Robertson, and this is my standard procedure term project. So, uh, this problem that we were having was in our mold prep section of the foundry. And so we have an Eastman Pro wrap cutter, and it cuts out the fiberglass insulation that goes around the molds before they're casted, and also has a airbrush to label the part number and the cut number so each worker knows what is what and where to put it onto the mold. And we're having a recurring issue with the airbrush clogging up or breaking and not passing through ink properly. And this was pausing or slowing down production and causing inefficient within mold prep. And it would pause production because they would have to come to engineering and grab me or the founder engineer because they didn't quite know how to clean it and they don't want to touch it because they don't know the proper way of handling the problem. So I used this project to solve this problem and kind of use what I learned in the classroom and put it into a real world scenario. The tool I decided to use was a standard procedure document. It is just like a work instruction, but it's more outlined and in depth and step by step. I like this because it is more straightforward, and I did training with this, so I walked through the procedure with each worker and checked them off to understand that they have been trained and understanding the process. It's a very simple process, but for someone that is just coming in and can't remember an outline like I did, is helpful for them to refer back to and be like, okay, this is my next step of the process. So this is the first page, and this is kind of like the standard layout we do at Doncaster's. So at the top we have the wrap cutter airbrush cleaning procedure, name of it with our logo, and then I have in bold which department and the name of it. And the first three bullet points are kind of like our standard thing that we put on each document to clear any issues. So we have the introduction, the purpose why this document is being used, the scope, who's responsible for ensuring that this process is done when it needs to be done, and then the safety, always think safe. So we always put our little safety message in there. Uh, for the fourth section is cleaning and unclogging the airbrush. So I have here is a step-by-step. It goes through which process they need to go through and how to do it. Um, I have at the beginning and the end of each shift is when I decided they needed to do the cleaning, and this is based on ensuring that when you come in, it's clean, it's ready for the shift, and when you're done and you've used it all day, you clean it again to clean out. And I have them do it twice on the same shift because it kind of you clean it for the next shift coming in because we run three shifts at Doncaster's. So this is more of ensuring that yes, you cleaned it for your shift, but did you step forward and clean it for the next guy coming up? I have a step by step here, uh, how to test the airbrush and make sure that it's working. And I have color coded the labels of down and is on and up is off, and that is just describing on the gantry where when you push down it's flowing the air through the airbrush, and then I have up is turning off, so it cuts off all the air. And I made sure to put each figures toward the end of the document. I have the pictures for them to refer back to. Um, so I have figure 2 and all that is labeled on the picture to help ensure that the employee isn't too confused. So this first section of bullet points is for them to check it and make sure everything's working. And if the airbrush is clogged or not blowing air properly, they go into the 4141 section and begin to detail how to clean it out. So I go through, you'll take and unplug the airbrush from the ink bottle. You'll plug it into a ink bottle or an actual just cleaning bottle that has cleaning solution in it. I found and researched a proper cleaner that will clean the airbrush without affecting the rubber seals. We had a problem with the way we were cleaning it before with acetone was eating at the rubber seals and causing us to buy a new airbrush every 6 months. So it goes through how to clean it, and it refers back to the first step of once you have the cleaning solution hooked up properly, you just push down, turn the airbrush on, blow it through until no more ink is visible coming out of the tip, and then you turn it off, and that should be the airbrush is cleaned out and ready for use. So you'll unplug it from the cleaning bottle and then plug it back to the ink sprayer. Now for the last very part of this, and it's usually rare that this happens. I've only ran into it once, but sometimes it does happen, especially when they were continuously not cleaning it and it was getting really bad. So this bottom part at 415, it says if this airbrush is completely clogged and the cleaning solution is not going through the airbrush properly, I have a proper flow in the procedure below. It explains how to disassemble the tip of the airbrush because that's where most of the clog is. It comes through the tip and goes through the needle, and sometimes you'll have to manually clean that if it gets really bad, but that is a very, third step, plan C of if you haven't completed plan A and B, here's plan C to explain how to do it. And it goes through just saying to unclip the airbrush from the machine. Um, and all it does is unscrew the very tip of the airbrush. You'll clean out the tip of that and you'll clean up around the needle and spray it through the quick connect for the ink bottle. It's a very simple process. When I did the training with them, really straightforward. It's not really too complicated. I have pictures in here. I'll go to my next section. So I have here pictures and the remainder of the document outline. I explained in the outline that if you do have any further questions or understanding, please see engineering for assistance. In figure 1, which is referred in the text, it has labeled the airbrush threaded tip, and then it has the ink quick connect and the air quick connect, and then the zip tie that holds on to the wrap cutter. And we have that just for how many times we had issues with the airbrush having to be removed and non-removed. Here we have the gantry screen, and this is kind of how they operate it to turn it on and off. So you'll go to the tool tab labeled here on the left, and you'll hit tool tab, and then you'll click on the icon with the airbrush that is in green right there in the center of the screen, and then right here with the blue on the right side is the up down that turns the machine air to turn the airbrush on and off. And also have labeled down below is what the bottle looks like for the cleaning solution, just in case someone doesn't know what it looks like or they misplaced it and they have to look for it. The outcome is pretty well. I performed training with each employee. Some of them have seen me or watched me do it multiple times, so they kind of understood why it needed to be done, and they kind of were glad to be able to do it themselves and not have to chase after engineers or have downtime based on the wrap cutter being messed up. I do weekly checkups. I did one Monday morning just to check in, make sure everything was good with it. I haven't really had any issues with the new airbrush. It is only a month old. It should last up. I have the proper solution. I reached out to Eastman about getting the proper cleaning solution so the gaskets wouldn't get eaten up. And the employees seemed to respond well to the primitive maintenance kind of outline this was. And I think everything is going to go smooth. So that is my presentation.